made 2 songs from 2 records right there, which would fuck everything up. Would be here all night. And I gotta go to Chicago tomorrow. Anyway,
LSU didn't want.
holy shit.
Yeah.
So, that last song was the title track on a record that I made. I made the bluegrass record, and I was on Warner for a couple of records, and then it was actually a joint venture, and I had a record label. I started a record label. I finally figured out it was sort of like having a pickup truck. Everybody calls you to help them move, and so I don't ever want to have one again. But it was.
The southern thing.
It was kind of cool for a while. We made some records that I'm really proud of. I mean, some of my records and some other records. You know, the B. Roy's and Scott Miller kind of got going out of that, and
Ron Sexsmith.
it was I made a Ron Sexsmith, but that wasn't for my label. That was just a record that Ray Kennedy and I produced, and that I'm very very proud of that record. I produced a lot of records during that period. I had a recording studio and had a record label. And then I made a bluegrass record because the way it worked was I would just make records and turn them in. And then
Isn't that nice?
I made this bluegrass record and turned it in. And then somebody at the label, the guy that had signed me at the label had left by that time. And this other guy at the record label who I still have never seen him. I only heard about him. Said, "You can't make a bluegrass record." And I'm like, "Wow, where were you in the 80s, and what part of Neil Young did you not understand?" And it had been established that, artists get to decide, and we have Neil Young to thank for that, what kind of music is. I get to decide what a Steve Earle record is, not anybody else. And the people that buy my records have always supported me, and I'm very, very proud of my audience because of that, because my audience that I've kept has been the part of my audience that's really smart and it wants to go there with me when I decide I want to do something else.
All the way, baby.
But, so where I was, it became obvious I wasn't. We basically, Jack Emerson, who's no longer with us, but my partner in the label and I, we put second mortgages on our houses and we put the fucking record out ourselves. And it sold more records than the record that I made before that. And I own that record. It's the only record that I actually own of all the records that I made. You want to buy one? I think we can hook you up. But that's the Mountain. And I was out touring to support the Mountain, and I knew I needed a new record deal. And Danny Goldberg came out to see me in Philadelphia, and it was, and I signed with Artemis Records here in New York City, and I made Transcendental Blues. And then, trying to figure out what I was going to do for my next record, Danny actually said to me, and this was like when I knew I was in the right place, he said, well, maybe you should make, and this is, this is post 9/11, and by the time Transcendental, that cycle winds down. And he said, maybe you should make an overtly political album all the way through. And not that I was ever afraid of writing political songs, but it was, and no one had ever said anything like that to me before. So I was like, I think this is probably still Danny's favorite record. Danny is now, Artemis doesn't exist anymore. Danny's back in the management business, and I'm proud to say, is my manager and my best friend. And this is, I think this is his favorite record that we've made in the time that we've been working together. And that's one of the ones I'm proudest of. And I finally got David Brosa to thank for making an honest man of me, because when I wrote this song, I had never seen Jerusalem. It was just a name and an idea that I'd heard about all of my life. And David's in He's in Israel tonight. He left yesterday evening, and he's like well, when we recorded his version of it in a Palestinian-owned studio in East Jerusalem with a half Palestinian, half Jewish band, and with musicians from all over the region. I figured out why I wrote this song in the first place. Up this morning, none of the news is good. The death machines were rumbling across the ground where Jesus stood, and the man on my TV told me it's always been that way. There's nothing anyone can do to save. Listen to him. Yeah, I almost lost my mind, and I regained my senses again. Looked into my heart to find, I believe that one fine day the children of Abraham will lay down their swords forever in oh, maybe I'm only dreaming. Maybe I'm just a fool, but I don't remember learning how to hate in Sunday school. But somewhere along the way I strayed, and I never looked back again. But I still find some comfort now and then the storm comes rumbling in. I can't lay me down, and the drums are drumming again. I can't stand the sound, but I believe there'll come a day when the lion and the lamb will lie down in peace together in Jerusalem. There will be no barricades then. Well, there'll be no wire walls. We can wash all this blood from our hands, all this hatred from our souls. I believe that on that day, the children of Abraham will lay down their souls forever in Jerusalem.